What's the business? What's good with it, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? What's good? Let me make sure I'm going to the right spot.
CDC identifies a possible safety issue with Pfizer's updated COVID-19 vaccine, but still advises people to get boosted. And fentanyl test strips save lives, but most states ban them. Joining us now to discuss that and more, Senior Fellow at Cato Institute, Dr. Jeffrey Singer. Thanks for joining us, Doctor.
Good morning.
The Centers for Disease Control
So much for that picture-perfect intro.
and the FDA on Friday said they plan to investigate a preliminary safety signal of a possible increase in a certain kind of stroke in people 65 and older who recently got one of the updated Pfizer boosters. Doctor, tell us more about this vaccine safety monitoring system and if that stroke risk is big or small.
Well, the data link system was set up by the CDC back in the 1990s. Basically, they have a network of health centers around the country. I think in September, the most recent number was 13 health centers. And their job is to report to them anything they see that looks like an adverse reaction to a vaccine. So they reported that they had a preliminary safety signal, which means there's some kind of a possibility that it might cause what they call ischemic strokes. These are strokes from cutoffs of the circulation from small blood clots in the brain in people over 65. But it's very preliminary, and in fact, they haven't seen this in the European CDC, so we don't know that this is really a fact yet. They're looking into it.
Is that why the CDC is still advising people to get boosted, even if there is this possible safety issue? Do the pros outweigh the cons?
I agree with a lot of critics about this. The CDC and the FDA approved this vaccine without even convening the FDA vaccine advisory panel like they usually do. It was only tested on 8 mice, basically everybody who's getting the booster right now is part of the clinical trial because there was no clinical trial. The director and deputy director of the vaccine division of the FDA about a year ago resigned in protest because they felt they were being pressured by the White House to approve things too quickly. It made sense back in the early days of the pandemic when hospitals were filling up and people were dying to give emergency use authorization. But now, since almost everyone in the country has a certain degree of immunity that protects them at least against severe infection in most cases, I don't think there's any justification for rushing this out without doing clinical trials, particularly when you're giving it. They're recommending it for children 6 months and older, and that age group has almost zero risk of a bad outcome from COVID. So I don't think so.
So with these 2 new studies that show that perhaps the boosters don't provide any greater protection against Omicron variants than the original shot, are you saying that there needs to be some sort of reassessment of how future COVID vaccines are developed?
Yes, I think so. This booster protects people against the original Wuhan variant, which no longer exists, and the BA.4/5 variant, which has almost been completely replaced now by the XBB variant. So that's why it's been shown so far. It looks like it's only about 25 to 30% effective. And in the meantime, there's a lot of evidence, particularly a recent study out of Cleveland Clinic, suggesting that too many boosters actually may increase your risk of getting an acute infection. And we already know from numerous studies that people who've either had an infection or got the original 2 shots plus the booster seem to have long-lasting protection against severe disease. So I think we need to rethink this whole strategy.
Well. I think they need to rethink the strategy too. Alright. You know, y'all got some nerve out there questioning whether or not you should get these shots. Like, what's wrong with people? Just do as the experts and government officials say. Just go get vaxxed, man. It's a simple equation. Not hard at all. Just do it. Get in compliance, man. Get vaxxed. No, y'all ain't finna run up on me like that. Hold on.
We are going to start tonight with postal delays, not for you, but instead for its employees. Tonight, many of them say they're on their 3rd week without a paycheck.
And OA News 4 has learned this has to do with hackers. Our David Amilati is live with this story you're only seeing right here. David?
Well, when you go to the post office, maybe you pick the priority option because you want to make sure that your letter or your package arrives at its destination on time. Well, we're talking with a USPS employee who says after 3 weeks of waiting, they don't feel like a priority at all.
I got to wait until a bank gives you the money back. Why not cut all of us checks and then you fight with the bank and get your money back? We've worked. We've done our services.
This USPS employee is turning to News 4. She says, as her last resort, to get a timely paycheck. She says USPS's government portal was hacked at least 2 weeks ago, and employees' direct deposits were funneled into another bank account.
The hackers got all of my information. They got everything.
The holdup? Her bank says the USPS can't issue a refund until it receives money back from the banks.
I asked her, I'm like, am I the only one calling? She said, hon, oh no, it's so many postal employees, and it just kills us that we can't give you no information. They don't know where they send our money to. They just didn't.
News 4 contacted USPS in a statement and confirms a hack, saying it was notified by the Postal Service's Office of Inspector General of unusual login activity involving a limited number of employees' accounts within the Postal Service's Postal Ease system.
That's inaccurate. I'm not going to agree with that.
We asked USPS to define what a limited number of employees means. They wouldn't give us an answer, but they say this hack began with an employee interacting with a fake website, allowing entry into the system. The Postal Service says they've since cut off the hackers.
You're a blow my ass.
I'm very thorough, and I know for a fact I didn't type in the wrong information.
This USPS worker says it's unprofessional, the situation she and others have been put in, fretting how to survive day to day with no pay.
I had to borrow money from family to get me back, so this week now we're going through, because now, I got bills on top of bills now, and then I still have to pay that family member back. Enough is enough. And I have to deal with it. Now I have no money. It don't make sense.
Now, I did reach out to the local USPS union, and I also contacted the U.S. senators for both Missouri and Illinois to find out if they know about the situation and what action steps they might be taking to help resolve this issue. We're still waiting for a response. Live in downtown, David Amilati, News 4.
We'll continue to watch that one, David. Thank you.
The thing that's different about a
Now, USPS, government agency, playing with the bag. I thought there was a consensus pretty much around the globe. The one group of people that are off limits, the one group of people that you just absolutely do not fuck with are mail carriers. Uncle Sam must have not have got the memo. Mail carriers are supposed to be designated as a protected species. Because when you playing with them, you fucking with damn near everybody. Last thing people need are even more delays due to back office fuckery. The euphemism going postal didn't just sprout out of nowhere. Y'all need to pay them people before it be some shit. These motherfuckers is coming in full force. And they are not playing. God damn. Hold on.
Lately, thieves have been going after mail trucks, and they have...
Yeah.
Lately, thieves have been going after mail trucks, and they haven't been stealing mail from the trucks. They've been stealing the entire trucks. It keeps happening. Como's Ryan Sims joins us live from Columbia City. And Ryan, I guess we shouldn't be surprised that hundreds of people are now without their mail.
Yeah, unfortunately, right? The mail and the trucks go hand in hand. In this case, one of those trucks came from this facility in Columbia City. It left here on a routine job Tuesday, but the mail inside never made it to people's mailboxes. Signed, sealed, not delivered. 4 times this month, bandits have stolen Seattle's mail trucks and treated them like rolling treasure chests.
Just counterintuitive because, it's a government vehicle, so... they're going to get tracked down.
In the latest case, a stolen mail truck was abandoned right here in front of Heather Shook's property.
It's just weird. I think that people just need to get it together and stop stealing and breaking into cars.
In the aftermath of 4 different mail truck thefts, police have made no arrests. More than 250 people are without their mail. The postal inspector insists these cases are beyond rare.
So you're talking about tens of thousands of times a mail truck is out on the street in the Seattle area. They aren't being stolen.
In each crime, postal investigators tell Como that the trucks were locked and secured. When you say they're secured, in what way? It's more than just locking the vehicle. Right?
It's more than just locking the vehicle. There are some additional security features. I can't speak to those specifically, obviously for security reasons, in keeping those security features active for us.
The postal inspector says security features are now being upgraded to mail trucks here in Seattle, but he declined to tell us the specific changes. What's the message for the people who maybe distrust the mail service now?
That's something we're always working on to try and make sure that people know that the mail is safe and that it can still be trusted. I mean, as I said, these are pretty rare occurrences.
Rare occurrences that the postal inspector believes may have been committed by the same person. Now, as for what's being done to help people now without their mail, well, the post office says it does have a system in place to track some of the mail that was stolen. The post office, meantime, is reaching out to possible victims. We're live in Columbia City. Ryan Sims, Como News.
Oh, wow. While I'm playing.
Stolen in Seattle. SPD's the third time in the last week a mail truck was reported stolen in Seattle. SPD says a mail truck was stolen around 6 p.m. Tuesday on South Morgan Street. That's in Seattle's Beacon Hill neighborhood. The truck was found about an hour later, just 2 blocks from where it was stolen. Police say the vehicle wasn't damaged, but are investigating if any mail was taken. Authorities have not said whether the stolen truck is related to the 2 stolen mail trucks last week. I have just kind of had it.
I kind of figured this might become a trend. It may even come a time where picking your shit up from the post office would be your best bet. When trends like these take hold, it ain't gonna stop or slow down till something crazy and heinous happens to a motherfucker. The threat of going to jail alone won't be enough of a deterrent to stop the individuals carrying out these acts. I'm telling you now. They trying to bring it to a motherfucker today. God damn, this is not what I expected. Oh yeah, I woke up on day and it was just like on extreme hard mode. I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna just run with it. So that's why the gameplay is a little bit different. Damn. Alright.
Landlord in Seattle is taking the company to court, saying they haven't paid rent in December or January. That's according to the Seattle Times. They report that Century Square filed a lawsuit in King County Court yesterday, claiming that Twitter indicated it wouldn't pay any rent moving forward. According to the complaint, Twitter actually vacated the building. They first started leasing the space back in 2013. It fits around 200 people. Twitter laid off 208 workers in our state back in November, and this isn't the first time Twitter has had rent disputes. Just last month, Twitter was sued in San Francisco for not paying more than $136,000 in rent.
Company Alphabet is the latest tech giant to trim thousands of jobs. The company announced it's slashing 6% of its workforce. Google's largest ever round of layoffs follows recent cuts by Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta, the parent company of Facebook. Michael George has been following the tech trim. Michael, good morning.
Michelle, good morning. Now, some experts call this a correction. Tech companies boomed during the pandemic, overhired, and now they have to adjust to a post-pandemic economy. But really, there's no way to spin this as positive. More than 10,000 people are suddenly finding themselves unemployed. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, is cutting 12,000 jobs, about 6% of its workforce. In an email, the company's CEO wrote, "Over the past 2 years, we've seen periods of dramatic growth. To match and fuel that growth, we hired for a different economic reality than the one we face today." The belt tightening at Google follows other recent tech sector job cuts. Microsoft announced earlier this week it's laying off 10,000 workers, or nearly 5% of its workforce. Amazon has said it's cutting 18,000 jobs, and Meta, the parent company of Facebook, announced it's laying off 11,000 positions.
I think that many companies are right-sizing their staff.
Many tech companies went on a pandemic hiring spree because of increased demand for their products as millions of people worked remotely. By late last year, Google's parent company, Alphabet, said it had nearly 187,000 employees on the books.
It is pretty easy for most companies to cut 10 to 15% of their employee base right now.
Economists say what's happening in tech is so far an exception in the labor market.
The overall labor market has been remarkably resilient. The latest data we have through December suggested it is holding up despite higher interest rates.
Isaac Del Rosario is a recently laid off software engineer in Seattle.
I've been in the interview hunt for about 4 months now.
Del Rosario is finding job openings by looking outside of the big tech giants.
Surprisingly, I've been able to get interviews from more like smaller startups.
For newly out-of-work software engineers, a job search beyond the big-name companies may be the way to go. And even with the new downsizing, many of the big tech companies are still bigger than they were before the pandemic. Now, laid-off Google workers will get a severance package of 16 weeks' salary plus 2 weeks for every year at the company. And it's important to note, despite the massive layoffs in tech, overall, the nation's unemployment rate last month was 3.5%. That's a 50-year low. Jeff?
Michael, thank you very much.
If you're a homeowner in Washington,
And we have breaking news at 17 past the hour. Microsoft says it is laying off at least 10,000 employees, saying that it is predicting slower revenue growth. The CEO says eligible employees will receive 60 days notice before their work ends, as well as severance, healthcare, and stock vesting for 6 months. Joining us now is CNBC's Steve Kovacs. Steve, good morning. What's going on there?
Yeah, Jose, in short, Microsoft just grew too quickly during the pandemic, and now they have to reset everything. If you think back to a couple years ago, the pandemic hit, companies and businesses, Microsoft's core customers, they were buying a lot of IT equipment and cloud services from Microsoft in order to keep up with this digitization we were seeing as we all work from home. Well, now that things are opening up again, people are spending less on IT, they're spending less on cloud services, and Microsoft overhired during the pandemic, predicting this growth basically would go on forever, and it did not. And now they have to reset expectations here, Jose, and let go 10,000 people. That's just shy of 5% of their total workforce, Jose.
Steve Kovacs, thank you very much. 5% of their total workforce, boy.
They say Twitter ain't paid their rent, huh? Them budget cuts, a motherfucker. Shit. Rumor has it, they ain't even got no toilet paper in that bitch. Gots to bring you on a little tightening of the belt. You dig? Guess your boy Elon said, better you than me. That's it for the stories. I'm finna shut the fuck up and see if I can knock these out right quick in one fell swoop for the finale. Since they bust my ass like they did on the last one, there's a lot of motherfuckers over here too. This is gonna take a minute. No teammate, solo. But yeah, that was the last story. A lot of layoffs all around the board. That shit, it's hard to fully concentrate on this shit and talk at the same time. I'm working through it. I'm getting better at it, but
Who are you?
oh shit. So you got to be real methodical with this shit. It kind of remind me of Siphon Filter. It was a game that was like on the original PlayStation back in the day. Metal Gear Solid type shit.
Wait, I heard something. It's weird. I'm gonna check that out. God, my ass is freezing. Thought we had drones for this shit. Hey, what do you want?
Shit.
Eyes on enemy.
Oh my god, grab this motherfucker. Oh wow. They be bullshitting. Damn, they got me killed. Now they calling in reinforcements. I still got like 30 people left. Finna knock all their ass off. Watch this. Oh, that punk ass helicopter. Damn.
Stay low. Keep it up.
They got motherfucker. Oh wow. How did he get on? Okay, I see.
I am coming to get you. Before they finish us.
Yeah, come on with it. Man, they on my motherfucking heels, huh? I don't feel like dealing with that right now. Matter of fact, you know what? Fuck it. Come on. Bring your bitch ass on. I knew it. I knew it. It was inevitable. Well, that's about it. It's over with. It's over. I'm gonna catch up with y'all later, man. If the government and the epidemiologists say it's good for you, there's no need to question anything. It's safe. It's been proven to be effective. Go get the shot, man. Be a team player. Just handle that business, man. What would Jesus do?